You don't want to do your hair at all? You good?
I think it looks fine.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of Why Would You Show Me This? I am Will.
I'm Dani.
It's Danny's pick this week.
Yep.
And, do you feel like we go into it way too quick? It's like, hello, here's the movie. We don't really say hello, we don't say anything else, we just go straight into the movie.
We leave that stuff for the end.
We do leave it for the end. But just for this episode, hi everybody, how you feeling? I hope your life's alright. I hope everything's going good.
Yep.
I hope you're watching good stuff, having fun. Thanks for coming back and joining us again and again and again. If this is your first time, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our podcast. We review movies that either I have not seen or Dani has not seen, our favorites from our lives, and we show each other these movies.
And sometimes it goes well and sometimes it doesn't.
Yes. Lots of episodes where it doesn't go well.
That's true.
Mostly Dani's picks for me.
Yeah.
But also a lot of picks. There's a movie Dani hasn't even watched that is an episode.
Yeah, that's true.
So if this is your first time, check out some episodes. Visit Your Cues is the one that Dani didn't watch if you want to go see that one.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get into the movie. Sorry, I realized that we don't have many introductions, so I wanted to just say some other things before we go straight into it.
I understand.
Lube it up a bit before we just...
Okay. That's how you want to phrase it.
But yeah. I feel like that's a good analogy.
Sure.
Yeah. We lubed up, guys. Are we all good to go?
All right. Enough.
Enough saying lube.
Yeah, thanks. So, I picked Swing Kids, which, when is it from?
1993.
There you go. And it's got Christian Bale in it.
It's got Christian Bale, Patrick Sean Leonard.
Yep.
Some other familiar faces as well.
Kenneth Branagh.
Mm-hmm. The first theatrical role for Jessica Hines, aka Daisy in Space.
Oh, again. Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that.
It's fine.
Alright. So, it says, in 1939, Nazi Germany declares war on freedom and demands conformity from its youth, but a group calling themselves Swing Kids rebel with their swing music from America. When two of them dare to stand up against the powerful forces around them, traditions will be broken and loyalties will be crossed. Robert Sean Leonard and Christian Bale deliver gripping performances as two friends who must choose between their individual freedom or loyalty to the murderous Third Reich. And then it goes on to say stuff about also featuring screen favorite Barbara Hershey.
Barbara Hershey from The Entity and Insidious.
Yeah, although here
films.
they
don't say either of those.
They say beaches and Tin Men.
Well, Insidious wasn't out at this point.
No,
but they could have said The Entity. She's fucking great in The Entity, but I guess a lot of people don't know about that movie and or want to talk about a movie where a ghost rapes people.
No. People.
A woman.
One person.
One person. I assume it did it to other people too.
Swing Kids is an inspirational and powerful story about friendship and finding the courage to fight for what you believe in.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the movie?
I liked it well enough. I enjoy the musical aspect of it. Lots of good music, swing music, lots of, there's talk of, jazz music and things like that. My problem with the movie is that it gets very melodramatic.
Yeah.
It's very this is a family friendly Nazi film. Family friendly film about World War II and Nazis and what happened around that time. I have read some things online. We watched this last night, so I had some time to do some research. A lot of people are angry at this movie because they feel that it focuses on the wrong part of World War II and Nazis and everything.
Okay.
Focusing on the German people themselves and not the horrific horrors that like Schindler's List goes into.
It's not.
But it's not
It's
about,
not
that.
about that.
That's the thing. It is not about that. I think this movie, the good thing that this movie does is that it really shows you what propaganda can do to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Even people that at the beginning of the movie have completely different ideology,
mm-hmm.
but with the way that they treat them, like there's a lot of scenes in the movie where well, first we'll get into this. The teenagers that are into swing. There is another thing going on called the Hitler HJ.
The HJ.
What's the J stand for? Hitler.
I mean, usually it's Hitler Youth, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the J word is, but they're called the HJ, and they get a lot of teenagers to come and join the Nazis. And what they do there is that they will give you things. They'll treat you nice. They'll say, "Hey, you're special. You're better than the Jews or the Czechs or whatever." There's a lot of different things that the gypsies, a lot of different name dropped sects of people in this movie. But I think it does a very good job at showing how easily people are turned. Maybe not super easily, but the tactics that are used to change your mind, to brainwash you into thinking the things that they were trying to spread in Germany at that time.
It talks about like the two best friends, obviously.
Yes. What is it? Thomas and Peter. Thomas and Peter.
Thomas and Peter. Yeah. And they have a third friend named Arvid.
Arvid. Yes. Arvid, who is he is a staunch like fucking swing kid, and he's like no. Like he's the only person that is like fuck no to the Nazis in the entire movie. And it's very commendable. There's a great scene. Actually, this is one of the scenes that I feel is very, very... The drama really works, and that's because of the actor. He does a good job.
He does a fantastic job.
I actually think that he might be better than Robert Sean Leonard in some scenes. In some scenes, the melodramatic feeling comes out with him. And I don't know if that's his fault. I mean, he's good. He's good. He's been good in a lot of movies. I think that's more... Probably... This is a freshman director. I don't. It's probably a better way to say that. This is the director's first movie. This is his first film that he made.
Yeah.
So that might have been partially the director's fault.
Right.
But there's a scene with Arvid. What is it?
Arvid.
There's a scene with Arvin where he motorcycle. Where he rides a motorcycle. No, another character rides a motorcycle. But there is a scene where he's a guitar player, and he plays with the swing bands, and he was playing.
Wow.
The motorcycle's gone now. Okay, so the Arvid, played by Frank Whaley, he is a musician. He's a guitar player. He plays with the swing bands, and there is a scene about halfway into the movie. I would say maybe three quarters. Three quarters of the way. There are some Nazis in the audience at this club, and they pass a note to the owner asking him to play a traditional German song. And he refuses because he refuses to have anything to do with Nazis. He refuses to obey what they say, really. And I love that scene. Frank Whaley is very great in it. And I think it's one of the most powerful... Actually, his character probably is the most powerful and dramatic thing in the film. I mean, there's a scene... well, you can go ahead and talk about it. When Dani saw this movie when she was pretty young, I think. Right?
Younger.
Teenager or earlier?
Probably teenager.
Yeah.
There's a scene, and it's pretty soon after that scene that he kind of can't really deal with how things are anymore. He's very aware. He makes a very impassioned speech about how things are and how things are going and how things are going to go.
How by staying and saying nothing and just doing what you were told is being complicit.
Being complicit, and you're
Yeah.
just as culpable.
You're just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he ends up committing suicide. He gets in the bath and actually takes one of his records, his broken records. And,
Is that what happened? I didn't realize that.
oh yeah, he slits his wrist
with a broken 78.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, because you see, I mean, you don't see him do it, but you see the aftermath.
It's a quick cut from when he goes into the tub.
But yeah, there's pieces of the record on the floor.
I didn't
and
notice
there's a bunch
that.
of blood around it. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what he did.
That makes that yeah.
So yeah, seeing that when I was younger was, that was pretty, not traumatic, but it was, I understood the heaviness of that.
Yeah.
And also he was my favorite character, so
He's
that
a great
was
character.
So that was upsetting because I liked him the most.
He's the most impassioned character. The main character, Peter, played by Robert Sean Leonard, he is the one going through the most turmoil. Because his father was taken away by the Nazis and basically killed. He was sent back home after 4 months, but he was sick and
he wasn't even himself.
He wasn't himself.
No. Obviously, they had tortured him.
Yes, and his mother seems to be basically falling victim to the propaganda as well, whether it be to keep her family safe, or just because she is. One of the main people in the regime is kind of trying to become the new father of the household.
Yeah, he's
played by Kenneth Branagh. Branagh.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh plays a SS officer. He's he's higher rank, I think, because he doesn't wear a uniform or anything.
Yes.
But he, checks in on them at one point to talk about someone that was associated with her husband, and she didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Basically, a lot of the movie shows Nazis trying to get people to rat other people out. Basically.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
That's a big part of it. There's a lot of people. There's lots of people that do.
And when you do it, you get rewarded.
You get reward, of course. Yeah, they reward you. It's the whole. Yeah, the way that they.
You have to admit, there's a lot that happens in the film, though.
There's a lot that happens. I think it does a good job at the main three characters, like really showing how this is all affecting them in their different lives.
Although I did point out when we were watching it that we never see Arvid's parents.
No, yeah, you never see Arvid's parents whatsoever.
You see Christian Bale's parents, and you see Peter's parents.
Yes,
but,
Christian Bale's Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas' parents.
Thomas. Yeah. But you never see his parents.
No, which is interesting.
Which I think might be on purpose, maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it's
I gotta say, Arvid's record collection made me very jealous. Like, takes up most of his room. It's insane.
Did you agree with how upset he got when
Thomas scratched his record?
Yes.
Yes, because it's his record and it was scratched, and also Thomas is a complete asshole to Arvid throughout the entire movie.
The thing that I've observed is that he's an asshole before he even enlists in the HJ.
Oh yeah, he's an asshole completely. Let's pause again. Hopefully our last interruption by our shitty neighbors.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, by the way, fuck you, shitty neighbors.
Fuck shitty neighbors. Fuck loud neighbors that don't give a fuck about anybody.
No.
So we were talking about Arvid and his record collection.
Yep.
I'm jealous of it. Also, yes, I would be upset because he was an asshole to him the whole time.
He was.
Thomas continually says, because he has a club foot, Arvid has a club foot, he cannot really dance because of that. Mm-hmm. And Thomas continuously gives him shit about it.
He does.
So he scratched his record, which it may have been accidental. It did look very accidental to me, but I would have been pissed too. Because at that point, they were banning records. Mm-hmm. So that would have been a record that maybe he wouldn't have been able to get again.
Well, I think he mentions that. He actually says that you can't actually get this anymore.
Yeah. So I would have been very angry at that.
So out of the three, you probably identify with Arvid the most.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, Arvid is the one, he has a room full of records. He plays the guitar. He refuses to have anything to do with the Nazis. So yes, I totally agree with him. or I totally see myself in him.
So one of the things that eventually ends up happening is Thomas and Peter decide to steal a radio.
Yes.
That they saw an officer take from a family and give to the woman that he is seeing.
Yes, in a bakery.
In a bakery.
Yeah.
So they hatch a plan to take the radio, which obviously...
Thomas does, really.
Yeah. And so they decide to do it. It goes awry. And they end up... they don't end up catching Thomas, but they end up catching Peter.
Yes.
So Peter's basically... What happens is when teenagers then got into trouble, they were basically forced into joining the HJ. They didn't really have a choice.
No, I mean, this is so. One thing that I think is interesting is that this movie doesn't take place during World War II. It takes place right before it. It's basically as the Third Reich is gaining traction.
Yes.
In Germany.
Yeah.
So at this point, this is like right when they started to kill people, basically. So people are scared of being taken away. Like Thomas's father's taken away, came back, and he's not the same person, and he died. So his mother, he just joins the HJ. He's forced to, and then Thomas joins in solidarity.
Yeah,
I guess
it seems like that's what he does at first.
At first, I mean, that is what he does at first, and there it's funny because there is a scene where Arvid is coming home having bought a new record, and he is accosted by these HJs that they met earlier. They were beating up a young Jewish kid, and they stopped them from doing that. Thomas actually stands up for Arvid. When they're in the HJ kind of school, there's a boxing match between a used to be swing kid who has been converted now, and Thomas. And Thomas is kind of giving them one for what they did to Arvid. But then unfortunately Thomas basically just becomes the same thing in the story.
I will point out that Thomas tries to kind of get revenge for Arvid, because the attack on Arvid is especially brutal.
It's pretty bad.
Because the character's name is Emil. I can't remember.
Emil.
I remember
Yes.
who he's played by.
Noah Weil.
Yeah. And he actually stomps on Arvid's hand so that he can't play music.
Yes. Yeah. He basically ruins his ring and pinky finger, and he only can play with 2 fingers now.
Which later on, when he makes the impassioned speech, when he is playing, he actually that's after he gets hurt and he manages to still play. Yeah. So he kind of embodies that spirit of, you're not gonna keep me down, I'm still gonna play the music that I want to play. Yeah. So
yeah, so what do you think now, rewatching this movie so many years later?
I still like it a lot.
Yeah. I know the music and the dancing is what really pulled you into it.
A lot,
first.
yeah, because it's, I mean, they go to swing clubs, the 3 of them, a lot, and Thomas and Peter swing dance, and the nice thing is that Arvid plays in the club sometimes. They let him play the songs, which is nice. And everybody loves him playing and stuff like that. But he does wish that he could, dance. Yeah. But, the dancing in this is fantastic. Everybody in it is a really good dancer. And it's great energy. And I think it breaks up the gloominess of a lot of the scenes. You know what I mean?
At a certain point in the movie, the swing does take a back seat.
It does.
The dancing does take a back seat.
Because I told you, the swing music and all of the swing dancing stuff is kind of a vehicle for everything else. So basically. It's not the main focus, but it is part of it. Yeah.
Did we mention that this is kind of based on a true thing?
Yeah.
Swing kids were a thing in Germany when this was going on. One thing I do want to say, I think Christian Bale wasn't that great of a dancer, and there wasn't that many scenes of him actually dancing, and I think that's because he wasn't such a great dancer.
No, but the guy who played Peter, he's amazing.
Yeah, he was good. The last scene of the film is a little comedic to me, because it's kind of the same way Footloose is, where there's that scene in Footloose where Kevin Bacon is so angry he just has to dance it out, and this one it's like he's so sad he just has to dance. And I think you had mentioned it's because it's like he knows this is going to be his last time. But it's still a little funny to me. It's
you're not a dancer.
Unintentionally comedic to me.
Yeah, if you're not a dancer, you're going to think it's funny.
Well,
but
yeah.
if you are a dancer, then you're going to be like, fuck you, you don't understand anything about dance.
which you are saying to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
much.
I get it. No, I understand. That's fine. I mean,
you don't even know the difference between interpretive dance and like modern dance, and I had to explain that as well, because I'm just like, those are two different things.
Yep. And that's fine. I don't understand it. And that's totally cool. But it was just like, it was just fun to see someone like sad and dancing to swing music. It's just...
The song works for it though.
Sure. And then there's the other part, his brother. We haven't mentioned his brother. He has a younger brother, the main guy, the actor's Robert, Peter. And his younger brother wants to go to these swing clubs, and he wants to be with his brother. And at the end, the swing high, swing high.
I warned you before that part.
He gets really into it.
This kid gets really into it.
That kid, I don't know his name. He is in one of my favorite movies, Stay Tuned, from the 90s with John Ritter. If you have not seen Stay Tuned, watch that movie, because that movie's awesome. Completely different, just a comedy. Has nothing to do with real life or drama, but that's a cool movie too.
Would you suggest this movie?
I would suggest this movie.
Recommend it.
I would recommend this movie. Don't expect the best drama you've ever seen about Nazis in World War II.
I mean, there's some stuff we're definitely leaving out because I don't.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't ever want to say the whole movie.
Because basically what the two friends are supposed to show a struggle with is them holding on to their morals and ideals and all of that stuff, and how that could be corrupted. And how they deal with it in completely different ways. Because I mean, one thing I will say is that Peter, Christian Bale,
no, Thomas Christian Bale.
Oh, sorry. Literally sells his dad out.
Oh yeah, just because he doesn't like his dad.
Just because he doesn't like his dad actually is all for
the Nazis, and then he tells the Nazis that his dad is talking bad about the Nazis.
Which the only reason he does that is because
he doesn't like his dad.
His dad makes a statement and says, the Nazis will make something, even a basically he basically says a screw up like Thomas can even be made into something better because of Nazism, and he's just like, excuse me? So he literally sells his dad out.
Which is interesting because at the end of the movie, there's still a little bit of the old Thomas in him, because he tries to get Peter to go. Like, he is going to kill him at some point.
Well, the club is going to get raided. And they're basically on opposing sides. Peter's there to dance, and Thomas is there to raid it.
Yes. And he does the whole swing Heil thing at the end. So it's weird where he falls in that, because I feel like if he was doing that around the other Nazis, they would have also taken him to the camp.
Yeah, you would think, right?
But nothing happens to him.
No. I wondered about that as well.
Yeah. But I think, not to say that we are in times like this right now, that this heavy, but I think with the political divide going on today, this is very relevant, because there are people, I know a lot of us out there, whether we are on one side or the other, we know people on the other side, and sometimes conversations with that person don't go so well. And I think that Peter and Thomas in this movie really are good at showing how divided we are today. And how we can be divided today by things. So I think it does have a little bit of relevance for what's going on right now. But like I said, don't try to quote me and say that I think we're in times like this, because it's definitely not anything like that. But just the divide, the divide and the two sides clashing, I think that is representative of some stuff going on today.
Well, a lot of like dehumanizing stuff. In this. To help them better deal with what they're going to inevitably do. you know, a lot of that stuff happens even today with dehumanizing
Yeah.
certain groups of people so that,
Definitely.
you know, you can feel better about being a horrible person.
Yeah.
You know
oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? So, I mean, it's relevant.
Yeah. Oh, it's for sure. Yeah. Like I said, I recommended for sure. Don't expect the best movie you've seen about
not.
World War II and Nazis.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's an okay movie.
To like okay movies.
It is. It's okay to be okay with okay movies.
There you go. You said it right. I said it wrong.
Because I'm the one who
You
made it up.
coined it.
I'm the one who made it up. So.
Yeah.
Trademark, by the way.
Trademark.
Can't take
Copyrighted. That. Don't do anything with it.
Did make that.
Owned by Dani. I guess we'll rate it.
Yeah.
I would give it another right in the middle.
Okay.
5 out of 10. It's a good movie.
I'm on a good roll then.
It's not fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm
fantastic.
the queen of okay movies.
Queen of okay movies. Dani's taste lies in mediocre.
I mean, I'll take it.
I'm kidding. But yeah, 5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It's not the best thing in the world, but I don't feel like I wasted time watching it.
But it does say that is a film not to be missed.
No, and you know that is not by Roger Ebert because I looked it up. This movie is on Roger Ebert's top most hated list.
Why does he hate it?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
It didn't say why?
I didn't look it up. I would say that Roger Ebert thinks that this is a movie that is trying to be important, even though it's not really important.
Oh.
Well,
I don't know.
I would assume cool. That's why he would not like it. Because he
doesn't like good things.
I don't know. Anybody else that's out there, I'm on Letterboxd. And every time I watch a movie, I'll rate it on there. I also look up reviews about the movies that we are watching on the podcast. A lot of people had problems with this movie because of the focus of the movie. And like we said at the beginning, it's not really valid because the focus of this movie is on what this does to the people in Germany, or what this did to the people in Germany. It's not about the acts themselves, even though they are a part of the movie. So I would assume that his hatred of this movie is something like that. Because 1993, if I'm not mistaken, Schindler's List had also come out at this point.
I don't know, you're the one who knows
I think Schindler's List was 93.
You know years better
I'm pretty sure. So for these two movies to come out at the same time, yeah, Schindler's List is the better movie. It just is.
Yeah.
And it's the more dramatic, it's the more real, it's the more this is what happened, and you need to know that historically, so we can hopefully not redo these things.
Did you ever watch Schindler's List in school?
In school, no.
No?
No, I watched Schindler's List when I was an adult. Luckily, because I don't.
We watched Schindler's List in high school.
Oh, in high school, I guess high school's okay.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of ready for it in high school.
Well, we read Night.
Night is a Night. There are 2 books in school that I was made to read that I really enjoyed. Night is one of them. Night is
I had a hard time with
It's a hard book to go through.
It is a hard book.
Night is a autobiographical book written by a man who was in a concentration camp, and it's hard.
Ellie Wiesel.
Ellie, yes, thank you for remembering his name because I could not remember that. But
it's really unique. So that's probably the only reason I remember his name.
Yeah,
but also that book sticks with you.
Yeah, if you haven't read Night and you're okay with going down that path, read Night. It's
What was the second book? I'm curious.
The Great Gatsby.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I really enjoyed The Great Gatsby. I think I connected with the loneliness of the character.
But yeah, we read Night, and I don't think there's any film adaptation that I'm aware of.
There shouldn't be.
No.
There shouldn't be.
But in the same vein, then my teacher was like, then we're going to watch Schindler's List, because that's, not the same thing, but it's in the same vein, and,
Actually, I think what would have been a great movie to show, I don't know if many people know about this film, Night and Fog.
I don't know.
Night and Fog is a short film.
Of it, I think.
That filmmakers back in, I think it was 1954, they went to Auschwitz and the place where the concentration camps were, and they filmed
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
Yes, Night and Fog. I have it, so we should watch it.
Okay.
It's on Criterion put it out. So if you have a chance, go watch Night and Fog. It's a very good. It's a documentary.
Don't overdo it on the.
Yeah, don't just sit there.
Stuff,
yeah,
though.
don't read Night. Watch Swing Kids and Schindler's List and Night and Fog.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's gonna put you in a bad place.
Yeah.
Just reading and experiencing atrocities through entertainment is not the best thing to do one after another. But I would say all of those are valid. The thing about everything else besides Swing Kids is nothing else shows the brainwashing as well as this movie. I think that's
good.
the thing that this movie does really well. Is it shows you what propaganda does the people.
And you don't know which one is going to
No, you
turn.
really don't. You really don't. I actually, in the beginning, I thought Arvid was one.
Yep.
Because he said he has a line of defense. I forget what it was. He had a line of defense of people that were forced to join HJ, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was, but I was like, oh, he's gonna turn, but he doesn't. That's the best part of this movie. That and the music.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the music and the showing how powerful propaganda can be is really good with this movie. You didn't rate it. What's your rating?
8.
No. Okay.
Yeah. It's still up there for me.
Yeah.
It's still just as good as when I watched it when I was younger. So. Yeah.
Well, great. Awesome. 8 and a 5.
I'm glad you liked it though.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's because
it is melodramatic, and I know
it is melodramatic.
It's not your favorite,
and
thing,
some of the lines in the movie are like,
I know.
some of the ways that they are delivered are not the best. But other than that, I think it does well in some areas for sure.
Not a movie you hear talked about that often.
No, it isn't. It isn't a movie that is,
and it's got good people
in it. I think it's because it came out around the same time as Schindler's List. You know, that movie just like trumps this movie.
That happens a bunch where there are two movies that come out around the same time that are similar in premise, and
we talked about it in the past episode.
Yeah, and one always comes out on top.
Yes, one always comes out on top for sure. But this is a worthy watch. It is a worthy watch. It's PG-13, so you can show it to a younger teenager person. Teenager person. Yeah, cool. Swing Kids.
Yeah.
Yay. We have when this has come out.
Yeah.
We will have done
the live stream.
The live stream.
It'll be in the future.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Phantom of the Paradise live stream went well.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Danny's cake was great.
Yes.
But we are doing that every Saturday, and
God, wrap this up.
Oh yeah, our shitty neighbor's back.
Yay.
Whoa. So yeah, every Saturday's live stream, youtube.com/Will Krupinski. Please join us. New episodes every Monday at noon on anywhere you get podcasts and on the YouTube channel as well. Danny's gonna do all my hand movements yet again. Thank you guys for watching and listening or listening. We hope to see you at a live stream at some point soon or next week. All right, so have a good time. Watch some good movies. See you guys.
Bye, guys.